So we're underway about an hour now, and I've lost my fishing rod. Like an idiot, I put it on one side, don't have a rod holder, didn't secure it down, and just put it on the edge, and it fell overboard and it unravelled, and I tried to ravel it in, and there must have been over a mile of cable, and by the time I got to the end of the cable there was no rod, and I just bought a brand new reel, so stupid. So we're relying now on the new fangled thing, and we'll see how that goes. I'm sat on the bow on my rib, and we are approaching the Cape, which is where we turn to port and head down the coast of the Mar Menor. So we're only probably about 2.5 hours away from our destination. Wind has dropped off, is now probably only about 4 or 5 knots, so you might be able to hear, but we've put our engine on. The head sail is there, that's now been taken down, and the mainsail we've left up. We've left up on the off chance that when we turn to port, which is about 30 degrees, 40 degree turn, we might actually get a bit more sailing in, because it was lovely sailing this morning. The other thing is, as the wind drops down, the rolliness of the seas, which as I said are about a metre and a half, a little bit more here, but not so much so that I don't mind walking around to the bow of the boat, and at this stage I haven't got my life jacket on, and but the mainsail is banging, just slapping, banging and banging. It's really quite annoying. So we tied up a preventer, and that was okay for a bit, but the point of sail we were on meant that we were quartering the waves, so it was hitting our starboard quarter, and we were quite rolling about 30 degrees 40 degrees left and right, and it's quite uncomfortable for long periods. Anyway, so the motor's on now. We've got about, I reckon, maybe 45 minutes to an hour before we turn the corner, and then an hour and a half before we reach the entrance to the Mar Menor. The Mar Menor is an inland sea, so we have to come from the Med, which is what we're in now, and we go basically down a little tiny sort of joining river, which is about a mile long, underneath a bridge, which we're going to have to get the timing right. We might have to anchor out for a bit, because they only operate every other hour, so we might get lucky and get there bang on time. We might have to sit to one side and have a beer. Bummer either way, eh? And then we can go through into the inland sea, which is where we intend to anchor for tomorrow night. We're going to stay in a marina tonight, and as soon as we get off, Millie, who refused to go to the wee this morning, big problem for us, because she's going to end up sitting there cross-legged if we're too long, and she now is refusing to go unless it's she will only go on grass. She's a princess, and if it's not grass, she won't go. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now again, and probably maybe even speak to you again in another 2 hours or so when we arrive. Bye bye. To open. We weren't exactly sure what time the bridge should open, very nice catamaran. And Amanda's just putting the ropes together. Millie looking very excited to get off the boat. The bridge is just starting to open now. So we're just starting to add a bit of power. There's a very friendly fisherman chap who was telling us what time the bridge would open and got it wrong. So we've now got all the lovely stress of the fact this is really shallow. I have got half a metre under the keel. We've got a few little restaurants as we come through the canal. And I'm hoping we can try and stay as close to the middle of the... Oh, there's a motorboat who's just swerved towards us. What is he doing? What is he doing? No, and now he swerved away. Yeah. So it's really narrow here, probably only around about, I don't know, probably 50 feet, 60 feet across. I'm just trying to stay right in the middle, and of course everyone wants to be in the middle, but I've got 2.5 meters of keel, and there's some quite sizable sailing boats on the other side. Okay, so we've already called the marina, and the marina have told us to call them again when we pass some fuel station, and hopefully then we can get ourselves nice and safely put up to dock. Was it expensive? 70 euros, and that's for one night. 70 euros. You bring your own hotel room, and for one night they give you a little spot in their very posh marina, and it costs you 70 euros. And well, all you motorboaties would love this place. It's motorboat after motorboat. I mean, we have brought the neighbourhood down. We're in a row of between 50 and 70 foot motorboats. The smallest catamaran I've seen here is 74 feet. And the I think the we're like a 3-bed semi that's turned up in a 5-bed detached street. So, well, we shall see. We've checked in, all the official paperwork is done, and we're taking the dog for a much needed walk, and have a little bit of a tourist scout around the area, maybe another beer or two, maybe, and well, we'll see how that works out. Anyway. Okay, so day 2. Who said yesterday that it was beer o'clock? Well, anyway, we cast off first thing this morning into the Mar Menor, and we found this beautiful anchorage, little tiny beach, perfect for Millie. And we thought, oh, how privileged we are to have somewhere like this all to ourselves. And then this happened. Okay, so we appear to be in the heart of the Spanish's favourite anchoring place. There are literally boats everywhere. We've had them swerve and misses, we've had ribs come through at 25 knots, we've had motorboats creating tidal waves as they go past, we've had kids swimming around the boat coming in, going, we've had dogs on paddle boards, we've pretty much had everything that you could consider from this. Well, it's a very pretty spot, which is probably why everybody is here. And as one or two leave, they're replaced by 3 or 4 more. Hopefully, because this was going to be our planned anchoring spot for tonight, everyone will be gone by the time sort of 7 o'clock comes. We shall see. Wind's picking up a little bit now, but it's forecast for the next 3 days to be no more than sort of 5 to 10 knots, and the sun effects on the hills generally create these kind of winds in the afternoon, but they die down in the evening. Anyway, Amanda's been paddleboarding. Millie's been having a fantastic time, haven't you, Millie? Yeah, she's looking for lights as usual. And yeah, we just had a barbecue on deck, and there we go. Look, I'm going to keep my voice down here. Here's another boat. This is what I mean by how close they've come to us. It's quality ship, seamanship. Anyway, Amanda's going to go and have another go on her paddleboard, aren't you? Amanda hasn't fallen off. Amanda let me have a go earlier on, and I don't know, I like a foal that's just been born. My legs are just all wobbly. I don't know, it's just all, she stands up. Maybe it's because she's got a lower centre of gravity than I have. I like to think that's the reason why, but she stands up and paddles around. I just can't stand, I can't stand up. I just, like I say, wobbly legs. I've had a go, and the fact that I've bought one that's on order and it's going to be here hopefully on Monday, it could be just the biggest waste of money of all time, because I'm just going to paddle it around like a canoe, because for the life of me I can't stand up. So we've got a boat next to us, they're pontooning, all of about 15 feet away from us. And we've got another sailing boat just pulling up, and he's looking to anchor. I think he's trying to squeeze himself into this tiny little space in between us. Okay. Yes, it's very relaxing though, very relaxing, waiting for 15 tons of sailing boat or 35 knots speed of motorboat to come shooting into us. But other than sitting on watch constantly, I'm having a great time. Now they really are close. They really are. I can, you know, you just look for yourself. Let's hope it puts a lot of anchor chain in. Anyway, Amanda's going to give us a quick demonstration. Of how you're supposed to.
Don't say that, you can pick me up and fall off.
Right, you ready? I'm turning you around now. She's not going to win the. She's not going to win the Olympics. Okay, so we've got vessel adrift alarm going off. So it looks like we may well have moved position. So I'm going to check off now and see what's happened and why we are drifting. Okay, so minor emergency. So whilst talking to you, the anchor alarm went off, which means that we'd slipped anchor and we were slowly moving back through this fleet of pleasure boats. So we became the problem boat, and that guy who was only 15-20 feet away from us a minute ago, well, I think it was me moving towards him rather than the other way around. So the fact that he waved with his hand like this rather than it turned around like this tells me that he was being very patient, more patient than I was with him. Anyway, we've reset the anchor now. It seems to be holding. Amanda's going to go and have a swim, and I think I'm going to stick around on the boat for the next 20 minutes to make sure that we don't go drifting again. And it's the last thing we want to do, considering we want to stay here for the night. But in the time it's taken me just to explain, just to sort that last little problem out, another bunch of boats have turned up. I mean, this is look. It's like a marina. Anyway, we're going to continue with our relaxing day and take Millie back to the beach, where she had a great time paddling, and maybe talk again later.